Hi, welcome to the Honey and Harry Show. I'm Honey.
And I'm Harry. Good evening.
Yes, good evening. We have been, I guess, gone. Well, you weren't gone last week. I've been gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
We miss y'all.
Yeah, we do. I miss it. Definitely miss it. I was sick last week. I had the sinus, funk, sore throat, cough. I don't even know what it was. And Dad had his surgery.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that later on in the show, but it's definitely a big event.
Yeah, and today we're going to kind of go over some of our past shows and, just talk about some of our guests.
I wrote on the title there that get ready for summer with some of our best shorts, as though we were selling clothing.
I know, that's funny. That's funny.
So we're gonna show a number of shorts from episodes during the last 7 or 8 months, and we picked some that people really liked out there, and they're all less than a minute. And maybe you didn't see the show that these came from, so it'll be something new for you, and you can always go out and find the show from which they came.
Yeah, because we had some good ones.
Yeah.
But basically, we've had a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Some crazy stuff happened, and this just goes where my faith is always getting tested, constantly.
Yeah, and that's an okay thing.
No, it is. It is getting tested, and I have to remain faithful.
Yep.
But
yeah, stay in prayer, be calm.
Be calm.
Be centered on the important things in life, which is, family and faith and those we love.
And it's hard. It's hard when hard things are going on. But I know, Dad, you fell off your bike and you tore your rotator cuff.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, and that was tough. I mean, he was a beast. My dad hardly took pain medication, which is craziness.
Yeah, well, I don't go crazy with the pain medication either.
Well, yeah, so. And then let's see, what else did we had? We had William's birthday party, which was a wonderful thing that happened.
Yeah, so a lot of family celebration in the middle of all of that.
In the middle of that, and then we had a little. Cool. You had a little scare with Lindsay, which really freaked me out bad, but she's okay. So that's another thing that happened.
Yep, right,
So
exactly.
we've had some. Just an adventurous couple of weeks. How about that?
As what they would say, life happens. Now, we know live happens, which is that things can go wrong here during the live stream, but, stuff goes wild during life, too.
It does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. But there's a lot of good things that are happening, too.
Right.
Like Pearl's having her dance recital this weekend.
Yeah. So it's fun times. It's, the summer's starting, so that's really good.
And
we got plans for vacation. And so forth. And, we're going to have guests back on the show again beginning after the July 4th holiday. And we'll start bringing other guests back on. And in the meantime, we're letting people get their summer plans all figured out, and it'll just be the two of us here during the next few weeks. We're also going to be on vacation, and we're planning to live stream from the resort. So we'll see how that goes. Even with one arm, we're going to live stream from the resort. Yes,
I
we'll
know.
See.
I don't know how he's doing it. Everything with the one arm, and I don't know how he's even going to go on vacation, but whatever. He's tough.
Right.
He's going to figure it out. So,
all right. So let's get into it. What we're gonna do here is we got 7 shorts. Now, if you're not a YouTuber, then you might not know about shorts, but it's like Reels on Facebook and Instagram. It's really short videos. On YouTube, these are less than a minute. Okay, so these were highlights from some of the shows that we had over the last 8 months, and so we're gonna start with. All of these shorts got a lot of views, and we'll be building up through the 7 shorts and then give you a surprise on how many views the 7th one got. So let's just walk through these. The first
Okay, so the big question that I think everybody in Baton Rouge was Florida Lee ever coming back?
That was
my favorite pizza.
That was a punch to the stomach right there.
Oh my gosh, I know. I'm like, do you know anything that's going on with that? Because I'm like, I could eat that pizza right now.
Well, I have something to tell you about that pizza.
Okay.
But first, I remember when it closed. The day it closed, my wife was like, Pat, they're closing Fleur de Lis. And I was like, for the day? She's like, no, we're good. So me and my brother-in-law hopped in the car, drove as fast as we could. We got there, and the guy was like, sorry, folks, no more pizzas. People were eating the pizzas, but he's like, we're not making any more. So we just kind of sat there and inhaled the nicotine and cheese one last time, because that's what that place was.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's held
Around
up.
the world without anchovies.
Around the world, that's right.
Barks root beer in a bottle, please.
I know. And it was always so smoky.
Yeah, every time we drive past that place now, we go, oh, man, why did that have to go under?
I know. Isn't that sad? I know.
Yeah.
It was so good. So good. But we need to have Patrick back on because that page got hacked.
Yeah, we're going to talk something about that. Now,
Yeah.
we need him back on to show
We
all
need him
of
back
that.
on because,
But,
somebody hacked. All these hackers
Yeah.
about had it with these hackers.
Yeah, it's very disturbing. But
Yeah.
But yeah, we really, enjoyed a lot of the nostalgia that Patrick talked about, especially the Fleur de Lis thing. I know my wife and I used to go there and just sit, and I would get like 2 Barks in a bottle and 2 glasses of ice, and we get the large around the world with no anchovies. We don't want the little fish on there.
Yeah, I know. Nobody wants the anchovies.
Yeah,
Ugh.
and it was like a dive, okay, but it was really good.
You could hardly see your pizza.
No,
I mean, yeah. That's
True,
the
true.
You couldn't see it.
Yeah,
like,
no, it was dark in there. It was a little dark.
so dark. You get in
Yeah.
a booth and it's like you're
Right.
sitting there and it's like just dark and.
But you had a jukebox in there with some old tunes on it.
Oh yeah, the kids loved
So-
to go put
So that was real
fun.
cool too.
Yeah, that was
And
always cool.
I don't know if Patrick said this or we heard it somewhere else, but I think the property they wanted they want like 1 point some odd million dollars for it. So it's a nice piece of property right there on government. So yeah, we're sad to see it go.
It is sad.
Okay, one of our other episodes, and this is Honey's favorite, I think.
It is. Is Santa?
Yeah,
Is that Santa?
this is all about.
I did have one kid ask me for a reindeer.
Oh, really?
Yes, and I told him really we couldn't let him have a reindeer.
Well, no, because that's not gonna be wrong, right?
That would be wrong. And then, he actually saw my reindeer whistle and he wanted a reindeer whistle.
Tell us about the whistle.
Well, the reindeer whistle, when I blow the reindeer whistle, my reindeer right now are parked, they're out in a bean field grazing. And when I blow the reindeer whistle, they'll swing by in a split second and I'll be gone. They'll pick me up. But if you blow the reindeer whistle wrong, you'll call every reindeer in the world and you'll have reindeer coming from everywhere. So
Oh, wow.
I'm very, very particular who touches my reindeer whistle.
Well, yeah.
And I couldn't give the young man my reindeer whistle.
Well,
It's a
no.
good story.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
We don't understand all the things Santa has to go through to pull off Christmas, do we?
well, I mean, no. It's a miracle that he pulls off.
Yep.
He pulls it off. I don't know how he does it.
And I didn't know the reindeer were in bean fields. I didn't know they liked beans, but that's really cool.
Well,
You know?
they're reindeer.
And you gotta
Yeah.
have a whistle because animals have like super hearing that we don't have, and so they can hear all those high frequencies and stuff. And you gotta know what you're doing. So I understand
Yeah.
why Santa Claus couldn't give away the whistle either. So
Yeah, because like dogs are like that too. They have
Yeah.
those whistles that only dogs can hear too. Like animals have the best hearing ever.
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So I was so honored to have him, and I think he may come back next year.
Oh, well, that'd be good. That would be
I
super.
hope he comes back next year. I mean, he's my favorite person in the whole world, so he better come back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love him.
So it's very special. I hope we can get him back again in the future.
Yes.
Yeah. So, not too long after Christmas ends, we get into king cake season, and then we get into Mardi Gras, and then right after Mardi Gras, we're into Lent, right? So we had Father Vincent Bressawar on the show, and we were asking him, well, how do we prepare to make a good Lent? And Do you recommend, Father, that we keep our Lenten sacrifices to ourselves?
It depends on why you'd be sharing it. If you're sharing it to brag or to boast, look what I'm going to be doing this year, ha ha ha. Then I want to let you know, I cereal, and then you are giving up cereal and milk to one up me or whatever, then no. But if you're doing it to have accountability, then sure, you could tell someone, hey, I need your help. I'm trying to give up. Watching LSU basketball this year, and so help me do this. I don't come in, and that may not be a big sacrifice. I'm an Auburn fan, so I have to throw that. It may not be a big sacrifice to give up LSU, but if I'm going to give up, then for that reason maybe.
Okay, we got a comment in that reminds us that when we have the static image up where you can't hear our audio, so we'll refrain from talking during that little part right there. We'll just show you the static image, the thumbnail, before we get into the actual video. We'll just talk about the episode before that.
Okay.
So what did you think about Father Vincent's advice?
Well, he really had, I was like, not that I was surprised, but I kind of was surprised because he had so many good ideas, and he actually had me motivated about Lent, like all the things that I wanted to. Of course, I have trouble every year. Gosh, my thing is I get out and I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm doing 100 things because I'm so motivated, and then it trickles down to one thing.
Well, it's not unlike New Year's resolutions where we have good intentions when we start, and then we struggle sometimes.
Yeah, you do.
And with New Year's resolutions, it's like, oh, this is going to go on forever. And Lent doesn't go on forever; it only goes on for 6 weeks. But still, that's a long time.
It still is a long time to be.
Yeah.
Because I was like, really, after he came on, I was like, feeling like just so godly, and I'm going to do all these awesome things, and I'm going to be this amazing person during Lent. And then it was like day 3, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I gave up all sugar, remember?
Yeah, I know. That's
and I didn't.
Improbable and impossible.
So I cut out the chocolate. I think I gave up chocolate. Right. I think that's what it was that I gave up, because I couldn't give up all sugar, of course. But I can't even do the New Year's resolution. I
don't even try those anymore. Exactly. Although this year, it turned out that I ended up doing the Exodus 90.
And that was good. I thought it was bad, but it ended up being okay.
Yeah, we all had some reservations about that because it's pretty arduous. And it, coincidentally, because of the calendar, it started on January 1st. So while it looked like it was some kind of New Year's resolution, it was a 90-day challenge.
It was crazy.
And there were like 15 pieces of asceticism, mortification, sacrifices that you did voluntarily again now, so you're not held accountable in anything other than your own.
What was the mortification?
Well, you were going to, let's see, Wednesdays and Fridays were days of abstinence for those who were doing the programs. That means no meat on Wednesday or Friday. Okay, so that was one of them. And then Fridays were fasting days, so there was that as well. And I think most people would consider cold showers a form of mortification.
And I never, and that was another one of our shows we did. I kept telling Kathy and Tramika I was going to do the cold plunge. I was committing. And of course, once again, I didn't follow through. So.
Not a problem.
So, but the only bad thing we did with that thing that you did was you got the tick.
Yeah. I went on an adventure, and it was really a good adventure. We had a great time. Went out into the woods, but you got to go. I'm not an outdoors dude, so I don't really know how to do all of that. These other people knew, and my brothers that went with me, they took care of me, and they helped me survive. But none of us realized that I came back with a tick on my arm until several days later, and all of a sudden there's this little blood grubbing thing sitting on my arm.
Craziness. I'm like, why? We didn't even camp whenever we did the one camping trip or a couple camping trips.
They were bad, all of them, right?
Everything was bad, so I don't know what made you think you were going to be okay with this.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I was, when you do something with other people that's arduous or difficult, then you build some bonds with them that you don't really build when you're just simply partying with people. So
I beg to differ. like that with people. I don't bond
Okay,
well.
there is another opinion.
See, we're so opposite, but like I would never in my life do that. There's just no way. I don't want to go through anything hard. No, thank you. On purpose?
Hey, Allison's checking in. Good to see you, Allison.
Hey, Allison.
Yep.
Oh.
We're right here standing on the floor, baby.
I know, miss you.
Yeah, we
I know,
do.
we do miss you. But anyways, yeah, Dad and I are complete opposites with all that. Like, there's no way I'm going to sign up for a hard adventure with my friends.
Yeah, and I'm going to be reluctant to sign up for too many more of them.
Oh, no.
Unless I have some kind of bubble suit I can wear.
I know. Well, I'm getting ready to put him on a Peloton. He's not going to be riding your bike anywhere.
We're getting some Riot Act orders here, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, our next short is going to come from one of our dental episodes this year. This was Honey's dentist who came in.
I went today. I went to the dentist today.
Oh, you did? Okay. So you
I got my teeth cleaned.
told Dr. Larson that she was going to be on the show tonight?
Oh, I forgot.
I forgot.
We were talking about other stuff.
Yeah. So
Love Dr. Larson, though. I really, really love her.
yeah, so she was really good. We had a great time, and there were a number of good shorts that came out of that episode. Let me show you the thumbnail first here, and then we'll show you the short that we'd like you to see from this show.
Bad breath, okay?
Good old halitosis.
A good old. So I brush my tongue.
Wonderful.
Okay, I'm a big tongue brusher. Like, I get after it and stuff,
That's good.
and I floss and do all that. But like some people have terrible. I hate to say that, but like they do. What causes it? Like,
Well,
is it the
generally it's hygiene. So I can go into Lowe's and I can go into Home Depot and I can walk near an aisle and be like, oh, I smell gum disease.
Ew,
And-
really?
yeah.
Oh my God, you're so good at it.
I don't know.
So that's another question I was going to ask, is the gum.
Your hygienist
Yeah.
can smell gum disease. We can smell it. It has a distinct smell. And it's just because there's the neglect of cleaning the gums and the teeth. And there's some really, really good old nasty bacteria way down in the deep pockets of their gums.
I know. Gross.
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 Well,
I mean,
yeah.
I get my teeth cleaned every 6 months, and I mean, I would literally die if I went in there and they were like,
Yep.
"Oh, you have such dirty teeth."
Right. When I go actually every 3 to 4 months.
Oh, wow.
Okay, because I had a lot of work done and,
Yeah, you
and
gotta
had some
watch
issues
it.
back before, so I go more frequently, at least right now. And I'm always sitting there going, I hope the hygienist doesn't have to work too long, because that's going to tell her that I haven't been doing a good job on my. No, actually, I water pick every day.
No, you do. You have all the stuff.
Yeah, I
you
do
have
the-
all that stuff.
I do the water pick every day, and I follow that by I don't remember the name of it, but the special toothpaste that doesn't have fluoride, but supposedly
Yeah.
helps your teeth enamel. Yeah.
I use that too.
Yeah, so we got that going for us. So
Yeah, and that was from Erin.
yeah, that's from Erin.
Erin told us about that because she does the holistic side, and that's what I like about Dr. Larson. We did talk about that today, how she does, but she integrates it both together. Like, she's not just so extreme one way or the other. She just,
Right.
and she's always wanting to learn, and I love that about her. She's just open to ideas and wanting to learn more, and that's what makes her such a great dentist.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'm a big flosser.
There you go.
I'm a psycho flosser, so I can't. It's like an addiction, you know.
Well, it's a healthy thing.
No,
so.
it is. It is a healthy thing. Oh, look, there's Wendy. Hey, Wendy.
Let me get Wendy up there.
Yes. How are you? I'm so glad she's watching. I'm going to see her tomorrow night. So.
All right, very good.
Yeah,
very good.
yeah, and
we hope you're healing well, Wendy.
yeah, I know.
Thanks for tuning in.
She's been through it, her too. She always
Oh, yeah.
stays positive. That's why I need to go see her, because I don't ever see her being negative.
Yeah, this is a good thing.
She's a positive person. She really is.
Right.
Something to be learned that I need, because sometimes I can get to be such a sourpuss at, you know.
Yeah, my glass is often half empty, instead of half full.
Well, I got it from you.
That's probably it. Okay. But I'm trying to be more positive about things. And
Yeah.
actually, my injury is helping me think about, okay, well, there are people worse off than me.
Yes.
And this is not the biggest sacrifice that one can make. And I'm learning some additional humility and willingness to allow people to take care
Help
of me
you.
and help me, which is lessons I need to learn. So it's good in that particular way.
Yes.
And Wendy says
Doing great.
she's doing great. This is good news.
so
We're happy
good.
about that. Woo.
Yes. Thank God.
Always. Right. So we kind of blew past Mardi Gras and went straight into Lent, but let's back up just a second. And we had a really good episode around the Mardi Gras time with Jesse Guillory here.
Yes, the Mamu.
Yeah, and so
Mamu.
this is really Cajun Mardi Gras.
And we've never been.
No, we haven't been.
We
to
haven't
that.
been, and we did get invited, but we didn't go. But we never did go to the Mamu, which we probably
Yeah.
should try next
Yeah,
year.
and I imagine it's a bit safer than some other Mardi Gras.
No, I'm sure.
And
I'm sure.
certainly more unique than the things we've seen for 20, 30, 40,
Oh
50
yeah,
years.
we're so accustomed to New
Yeah.
Orleans. Yeah.
I'm kind of, I still like the thought of Mardi Gras, but I don't have as much, energy for going to do it because it's a big adventure to do that, especially to go to New Orleans.
Yeah. No, and New Orleans,
Yep.
needs a lot of work.
So let me show you the thumbnail from the Cajun Mamu Mardi Gras, and then we'll show you a little clip from that show. And we had a number of very, very interesting ones from that. But here's
the tax collectors wanted to tax everything, and they had some very harsh tax rules back then. But the peasants and your working class folks figured out something. They couldn't tax what was given or begged for. So as these ingredients changed hands, none of the stuff could be taxed, and the aristocrats were kind of left out. Also, too, with the garbs they would wear and their garments, a lot of them wanted to make fun of the aristocrats. That's why you had these funny masks, and especially you may have had some masks with some long, crooked noses and some funny hats and things like this, because what they wanted to do, they wanted to dress up and they wanted to make fun of the high society.
Yeah, Jesse had a lot of great stories about the history and the legacy of the.
He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, right, and of course involved all the time, and I love those outfits that they wear.
Oh my gosh, it's so. I mean, I really didn't know anything about Mamu. Did you?
No, I knew there was something there, and that was it.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you, like, way back in time, like, people figured it out. They went around and made a gumbo. That's kind of what they would do. They would go beg for, like, everybody would put food, all the ingredients,
big pot of gumbo,
and then feed everybody, which is so cool. And then, like they said, the high society that maybe wasn't so kind to them or didn't treat them well, they would, make these little costumes and have their own little balls and whatnot. So I thought that was cool to.
Oh, great tradition.
It is. It really is. It's so interesting. And I know they still go chase the chickens. They were saying, and
horseback riders and chicken chasing.
I mean, you don't see that kind of stuff, but I know we had pictures with people standing on horses.
Right.
Craziness. Craziness.
I think they must be skilled.
I mean, I would kill myself. I'd be dead. I'd be with you right now. Yeah. Standing on the back of a horse is not easy. I have horses in the back of my. There's no way.
You probably have to trust the horse a lot too.
yeah, or something. I don't know. But anyway, so that was pretty cool and interesting.
That was great, and he came in costume.
And he did, and he actually went several times.
They sent us a lot of photos that we put up on the screen during the show.
Those are the people from Eunice and where else? I forget where else they were, but they were so generous and kind to send us stuff and let us use any picture we wanted. So I really appreciated that.
Right, that was a great time.
Yeah, because there's nothing like that.
No,
anywhere's around the world. It's kind of cool for everybody to see.
It would be great for visitors to the state to go see that.
I think so too, because our state needs more like all the good stuff. We're tired of hearing about all the bad stuff.
Right,
we want to hear
right.
good stuff.
Stick on the good stuff.
Quit talking about the bad. Let's talk about the good.
That's right. There you go. There you go. So we have one more short, and this one comes from an early episode, maybe week 8 or something like that, and it was from a show with Matt Kennedy. Now, I knew the name really well because I used to listen to the radio on the morning drive-in on one of the local channels, and talk radio, back when talk radio was beginning to be a big thing. And I just listened to that show every single day. So it was his name was on the tip of my tongue when it came up. So we were very happy to have him on the show, and he has some really interesting stories to tell as well.
He did, and the crazy thing about all this, we got him as a guest. I was at my friend's shop, and Catherine was like, "You need to get Alyssa's husband." And I mean,
who's that?
I know. I was like, I know. I've been knowing Alyssa, and she was like, Matt. I'm like, well, what does he do? And she goes, well, he was on the radio for 20 years. I said, was he really? And I was like, I had seen Matt and met Matt's, but I like never really, like, well, does anybody really know what anybody's husband does? I mean,
Not around here.
I don't. I mean, but he was retired from it.
Yeah.
So
he was not doing it any longer.
He was doing something different.
Well, actually, he still does radio, but
No, he does.
in a different motif with his financial business.
But he wasn't like braggadocious.
Yeah. No.
Very humble pie man.
Right.
So yeah, and then when they told me, I texted Dad and was like, "Do you know who this is?" And he was like, "From the radio? Yeah, let's get him on."
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to show you the thumbnail in a second, and then we're going to go to the video. And on the video, you will see, as of yesterday, the number of views on Facebook for this particular video. Now, a number of the videos we've already shown you, all of them had 100 or more, and some of them had 400, 500, 600 views. And this episode generated some videos that got thousands of views.
Yeah.
So we wanted to show you that. I'll show you the thumbnail, and then we'll run into one of the interesting stories that that Matt had to share with us.
Sticks his hands out and says, "President Bush, good to meet you." And he asked your name, which was so nice, I guess because it was a small group.
Yeah.
He makes a few comments. And I think Congressman Baker may have been with him, but whatever.
Huh.
And then the Secret Service says, "Okay, follow me. We're going to get in the vehicle. We're going to the Joint Command Center," and Governor Blanco was there.
Oh, wow.
So we get into this black SUV. So Bush is in this black SUV in front of us. I get into this black SUV. These guys peel out, and before I know it, we're up on the I-110 doing 100 miles an hour.
Freaking out.
And I asked the driver, I said, "Should I talk? They may shoot me."
No, they might.
I said, "Just a quick question. So why are we going so fast?" Because there's cops everywhere. Every exit is blocked. Every exit, every entrance ramp to 110 is blocked. Now, it's Sunday morning, so it helps anyway.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He says, the less time we're up here, the less danger it is to the president.
Wow.
Yeah, that was only one of several that Matt shared with us. He also told a Mike Tyson story.
Remember that? Oh my gosh, he's so funny.
That was really funny. He got in the elevator with Mike, and actually Matt was imitating Mike's voice.
Oh, he did it so good. He really did. But like, can you imagine? Like, especially back in the 90s.
That's right, when he was the big thing.
Yeah, he was a big thing back then. That's so. But I mean, even like the president like that, and you don't like how he was talking. Like when he came off the plane, there was all those snipers.
Yep.
And it's like you don't really realize like. If you're the president, so many people want to kill you. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's so crazy that you have to be.
They are crazy. So
I know.
Yeah. So and the black SUVs are for real, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's so crazy. But yeah, that was a cool story. I mean, how many people actually get to meet the president? You know,
right.
And get to. I mean, President Bush. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was also interesting. Another story he talked about, and he spent several minutes talking about this, and you can catch it on the original episode. And that was the Katrina hurricane that came through, and he ended up being the situation turned out that he ended up being in a radio station doing all of the communications for almost the entire South, being broadcast over a communications network to make sure everybody knew and were up to date with everything that was going on with the rescues and the getting people out of Dodge and trying to get resources to people. And he was on the radio for a day and a half or two, constantly, just sharing all that information. So it's a really good episode. It's got a lot of really good cuts in it. So you might want to catch that one if you can. Matt was an engaging guest, and
that's what he does for a living. He was, and he had so many interesting stories,
Yeah. So
because
one day we'll ask him back on the show because I'm sure he's got a bucket full of other things.
Oh my gosh! And he's such he just comes in, and I'm just like, I don't have to do. Matt just knows. He knows how to do with this. This is what he does. This is what he's always done.
That's right.
He's great. But all of our guests have been so great.
Yes.
We've been so blessed, and people have been so generous with their time and coming, and I just appreciate everybody who has ever been a guest on this show.
Absolutely, and they're all good people. And
every single one of them has been a good person.
Many with really good causes that we are trying to help spread the word on. So, anyway, there's plenty of other interesting shorts out there. If you go to YouTube, we haven't posted them as reels on Facebook. We may consider doing some of that, especially with this 7 here that are more popular than most. But we want you to go back and check out the rest of the shorts or the episodes when you get a chance, if you do. So we want to talk a little bit about my recovery.
And the final thing we're going to talk about is this thing going on over here.
Yeah. So what we're going to show, I'm going to show you a still again, which we can't talk over, but and it's going to have a picture on it taken by an arthroscopic camera inside my arm somewhere.
Oh wow, you got that?
Yeah. So we went to this week. We went to the surgeon's office, and we worked with his PA, and he took the stitches out of my arm, the sutures out of my arm, and he said they looked good, so that was good. And then he went through a lot of the detail of the surgery and gave us a 5-page, single-spaced type roundup of everything that went down during the surgery. Of course, you need a thesaurus and a dictionary and a medical book to figure out what any of it means.
Oh my goodness!
But he also gave us 3 pages, total of 24 pictures or whatever that were taken inside the arm with that camera, which helps them document what they've done and what the problem they ran into. So I'm going to show you that still first. It'll show you a picture of the the lashings, if you will, that are holding the tendons to the bone on my shoulder right now, which we have to be careful of so we don't unmoor. But the doc was very impressed with how good the bone structure was, and that the repair should be a good, strong repair.
Thank God.
So what we're going to show you in the video is my wife took a couple of videos of us trying to learn how to take the sling off and put it back on again.
Oh, wow.
And that might sound like nothing, but
it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot.
And I'm not afraid of too many things, but I am afraid of having my arm messed up, when it's so delicately put back together. So we wanted to make sure that we understood how to take the sling off. So we're going to walk you through a little video where we show you the old man trying to figure out how to take the sling off with the physical therapist and put it back on again.
You've got to take off these straps, and I just kind of use the Velcro, and I kind of, right? Same thing here. Take off these straps, and then
it's a lot of parts.
Put it on. You've got 2 more straps. One is here, and it's just a push button. You can take that one off first. This one, just unclip further. But then you've got to take this hand and then undo that strap. There you go. Good. And then now you can bend your elbow up. Don't lift your shoulder, just bend your elbow up.
Easy for you to say.
Great. And then from here, you just remove there, support the arm. So go ahead, grab, if you can, grab underneath your forearm. There you go, and just kind of hold it there, and the strap is off the shirt a little bit.
I feel about 120 years old doing this.
Oh, wow.
Now we're trying to put it back on again.
And you got a good therapist.
Yeah, we got some good people there at Baton Rouge Physical Therapy Lake. And there are like a whole bunch of Velcro.
You got to be careful.
Yeah, they want to make sure it doesn't go
No, you don't
move
want
around
to. No,
on you.
you don't want to get hurt.
You have other things to worry about. Understand? There is this really cool thing. It was like
So I'm okay with you doing as much as you need to do. You just want to make sure that it stays supported and you're not using it. That's right. Have to skip forward a little bit. The last part of this is just bringing this all the way around.
On there, right?
Yeah, just like that. You do that throughout the day?
Yes.
That's tough. I mean, that's a lot. Thank God you have help. Like Mom has helped you
Right.
so much, and
Well, we were permitted to, in principle, to be able to take the sling off even before we went to physical therapy, but we never had the courage to do it.
no,
because-
Peanut did it that one time. Remember that?
Well, we had to, yeah. We P exercised at one time. We
one
just
time.
tried to move the elbow a little bit, but
it
we
just
had
wasn't worth it.
We had an official nurse with her doing that, so
Yeah.
so my wife and I were really not as we were more timid about what to do, and I don't blame her or me for that, you know.
But
because-
it's scary because I know
Yeah.
even when I took care of Peanut, it's scary. It's like
Yeah.
it's stuff you don't know, and it's medical stuff, and
Yeah. So the good news is that I generally, unless I, do something a little untoward, I don't feel any real discomfort. My arm's tired of being in this position in the sling, so twice a day we take the sling off, and I let my arm dangle, and then I do some lifts of my arm up from the elbow, but not using the shoulder at all, just using the elbow. They did a lot of work inside there. They put those, grappling hooks in. That was one thing. And the bicep muscle was messed up, so they had to deal with that. And a bone had to be shaved, and there was a bunch of osteoarthritis and a bunch of bursitis. And so, when they go in there, they don't just do one thing. They do everything they find wrong. They fix it. So I'm really, indebted to the surgeon and all of the helpers who made this thing work good. Now we only have about another 8.5 months of physical therapy to try to get back to where I might have been before I messed this thing up.
But I'm grateful. It's just this. It could, you
Yeah.
know, like
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is going to be okay. He's going to be okay, and just got to be more careful.
Yeah. Well, I had been biking quite a bit, and so my legs were in pretty good shape, but my upper
Thank
body
God.
was not. And so when I fell and I bruised the hip, but I didn't break anything anywhere, and I didn't hurt the hip at all, apparently, but I messed up the shoulder pretty good. So
Yes.
and so we're negotiating, trying to figure out whether I'll ever get back on a bike again. So
I say no.
let's see. We got Patricia weighing in here, and she says, "Looking great. Listen to the doctor." And Pete, yeah, right, that's right.
That's right.
We heard at least one horror story about somebody who didn't do the right
Yeah.
physical therapy and had to come back in and have work done again. And so we don't want to go there at all. So
No.
whatever they tell me to do, we're going to do, and we'll get through it. And it puts a new outlook on life. I'm learning to do a lot of things with my left hand. Good thing, though. I am mostly dominant left hand, so I can write, I can type really slowly with the left hand, but but I it's the strength things that I do with the right hand. So I guess I'm not going to go bowling for a while.
No, you probably don't ever need to bowl again.
Probably don't. I won't be able to bat from the right hand side anymore.
Yeah.
And the Yankees have canceled my contract to throw in every fourth game out there in Yankee Stadium. So we're back to more normal activities.
I know. Oh gosh. Well, I'm glad you're getting better. I mean, it's a long recovery though.
Yeah, but I got a lot of good care, and I'm trying to be as independent as possible so I don't wear out my spouse, who has a lot to do to try to help me get along. I can't put a shirt on yet adequately, so we're still getting help with that. But I do a lot of other stuff. I can do my hygiene and my shave and all that kind of stuff. And we getting in the shower, so things are working better, and we're looking forward to as complete as possible recovery.
Oh, I think it's going to be. You had a good surgeon.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Yeah, and you have a good PT people. Like you're going to be. I think you're going to do well. It's just going to take a while.
It's going to take a while. So
no,
to be patient. It's what I call a season-ending injury. Whatever season I was in. Yeah.
No, but that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. And I don't know if I mentioned, but did we have a show we did after Peanut graduated or not? Did we? I don't remember.
I don't even remember anymore.
But that was another good. Instead of saying all the negative stuff, Peanut graduated. William had his birthday. Those were good things. Those were all positive
lots
things.
of family celebrations, great triumphs, and
then we had some not so great things. And people need to hear that because I feel like sometimes I know you can look on social media and you think people have like this perfect life.
That's what it seems like.
It seems like that. It does sometimes.
And even the filters that make you look like you have no cosmetic problems.
Oh my gosh. I need those filters, please. I just know how to use them, doggone it. But I knew how I would use them. Yeah. But, I'm just so grateful right now that everybody's doing good. And that's all I can ask for is just as long as you have your health. Can't ask for nothing else.
Right. So this will be Honey and Harry Live and Unplugged for a few more weeks. And then when we come back after the July 4th holiday, we're starting to book guests already.
Yes, we got some good guests coming.
So we're going to have a guest in, and we love guests, and I know you do too. So we're looking forward to that as well. But we thank you for being faithful and checking in on us. We really